So President Trump says there's an autism epidemic, and the meteoric rise in cases is being caused partly by people taking paracetamol while pregnant. Every word of that sentence is both incorrect and potentially dangerous. Let's break it down. Paracetamol, or
well, let's see how we say that. Acetaminophen,
the Yanks like to call it, is the main ingredient in Panadol and Tylenol. And it's also the drug most health authorities recommend as the first line of treatment for pain and fever during pregnancy. This week, the White House claimed there was clear evidence that mothers taking paracetamol increased the chance of their child having autism spectrum disorder. To back that up, they referenced this 2019 paper, which studied 996 kids. But wait a second. Here's a 2024 study that looked at 2.5 million children, and there was no correlation to be found. And while there are a couple of other studies out there showing a very small association between paracetamol and autism, they can't actually prove causation. There could be 1,000 other genetic and environmental factors at play. And the fact of the matter is, the majority of studies and scientific evidence available to us lands firmly on the side of paracetamol having no impact on if a baby will be neurodivergent. But you know what can impact an unborn baby quite severely? Their mum being in pain or carrying a fever. Untreated maternal pain and fever increases a baby's risk of birth defects, heart and brain conditions, premature birth, low birth weight, and miscarriage. And it's not like there's just another option besides paracetamol. Ibuprofen and aspirin both carry much bigger risks to unborn babies, and both the Australian and the US pharmaceutical regulators say they should only be taken while pregnant if specifically recommended by a doctor. Pregnant people being afraid to take paracetamol isn't a no-harm situation. It could have devastating consequences. But that's not where the issues end. Trump also claimed there was a meteoric rise in autism diagnoses in American children. And that is technically true. In 2000, it was about 1 in 150, and now it's 1 in 31. But that doesn't actually mean that autism is spreading. No, it's generally accepted that those rising numbers are mostly down to our diagnostic criteria getting better and our cultural understanding of autism broadening. This isn't an epidemic spreading, it's a definition widening. In fact, actually, let's also talk about that word epidemic for a second. Autism is an extraordinarily diverse condition. It's a huge spectrum. That's why that word's in the name. And yes, for some people, this condition massively impairs their quality of life. But there are plenty of other autistic people out there who do not view the condition as exclusively negative. It's an inherent part of who they are, not a disease to be cured or fearfully avoided at all cost. And for those people, the President of the United States framing their existence as an epidemic is deeply harmful.